Let's have a look at some of the front pages for you right now. And we will start with the Daily Mirror, leading on the scientists warning that a second wave of coronavirus infections could be twice as big as the first because of failings in the test and trace system. It's a situation, it says, is a time bomb. We're talking to our one of our GPs in just a moment. We'll ask him about some of those issues.
The Telegraph reports that leaked documents about trade negotiations with the US used by Labour during the 2019 election were stolen from the email account of Liam Fox, who was then International Trade Secretary. The theft has been blamed on Russia.
Let's have a look at the Times, and they say the doctors are being urged to prescribe exercise or acupuncture before traditional painkillers, like paracetamol, for example. That is the draft guidance from the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, which is concerned about addiction.
And the Belfast Telegraph devotes its entire front page to John Hume, the former SDLP leader who was a key architect of the Good Friday peace agreement. It carries a quote from the former US President Bill Clinton, who said he helped forge the peace that has held to this day.
So I'll have a quick look at some of the inside pages for you. On one page, actually, in the Times today, a couple of stories draw your attention to. The first is this one, which is it's an ongoing thing about, you know, when the weather is hot, and I know we've got another hot patch coming up
at the weekend,
in the next few days, haven't we? Beware dangers of dogs going walkies mad in midday sun. Just saying that dog owners being urged to be careful after they're saying that too much exercise, obviously in the sun, can cause canine heat stroke, and so inevitably dogs, I mean, they get tired obviously, but just warning that people should be very careful, and they're saying about 14% of dogs that suffered from heat stroke had gone on to die, so it's a really serious condition for a dog.
So we need to take care of them, especially this week.
Be very careful if you're taking your dog out. And here we go. Roger Federer, this is a great story. You can quite see exactly what's happening here. So these two Italian girls had been playing tennis between the rooftops of their apartment building, and it had got quite a lot of traction on social media, so people had seen it all over the world, including 20-time Grand Slam winner Roger Federer, and he flew in his jet to Italy to play with them. And there he is, having a knockabout with the two girls.
Story, isn't it?
And the girl Victoria Oliveira, who's 13, said, "I nearly fainted when he showed up. He's my favourite player. He figured out the distances pretty fast, yes, you might imagine. Started playing shots between his legs from one roof to the other, which is amazing. Just shut up and start playing."
Isn't that lovely? I love this story. So, obviously, sometimes you want some information quickly. You look it up on a search engine, don't you? And maybe you don't check your facts, which obviously as journalists we would do.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is Irish novelist John Boyne, and he wanted to have a traditional way of making red dye in one of his books. So he did, apparently, he thinks, a quick Google search, and it came up with items including Octorok eyeball, high-tailed lizard, the tail of the red lizardfoss. I can't even read these. Yeah. And it was a fiction. It was entirely fictional.
None of those things.
I'm not sure if any of those things exist, but it was fictional, and it come from a game. Anyway, so he put it in his book, and then people read the book and were like, "I'm not sure that's right." And he says, he says it's funny. You're totally right. I don't remember, but I must have just Googled it. He's going to keep the list in the paperback version.
Well, it becomes part of the story, doesn't it?
Part of legend. Anyway, that is not the real recipe.
It's beetroot, isn't it?
Probably, I have no idea.
You can use to dye red. Well, I probably got that wrong as well, so don't do that either. Just eat the beetroot. That's safer, isn't it? Just eat it. Don't use it to colour your clothing.